Now that we've done how to do the warm up of muscles and the joints, we're gonna learn to actually how to do the squats. You did ask about the foot stance. What you need to know about the foot stance, there are so many stances of the foot. So one can do easily the cannonball, which is close, the close one to target the outer quads, and another one may go for most of the people when we're doing the squats, regular squats, we look at normal stance, which is shoulder width apart. We also have the wider stance, which is mostly done in a sumo stance, whereby you have your toes pointing out to target the inner thighs. So with the foot stance, those are the stances. We have the normal, and we have the cannonball, and then we have the sumo. Yeah, depending. There are others that I'm not gonna go into detail, but I'm just gonna talking about the main ones. Those are the main ones. And what you need to know about the squats or lower body exercises, that lower body exercises move in two movements. There are two movements when we're looking at lower body. So we have the hip hinge, and we have the actual squat movement. So you don't wanna assume that you're doing a squat and you are hip hinging in a squat. That's one of the things you can do terribly. That's one of the things that can go terribly wrong. Assuming that you're doing a squat and you're doing a hip hinge. So what do I mean by the hip hinge? So the hip hinge is a position whereby you are in this almost upper body almost parallel to the floor, the hip extended, and you are in this position. Usually we always do exercises like good morning, deadlift, rack pulls, and so on, bent over rows. We always do them in a hip hinge position. Then the next one is the squat, the actual squat that we're looking at, whereby you each start the movement by pushing your hip backwards, simultaneously bending the knees, and then you're going all the way down while engaging your torso, keeping your torso upright, and then you come back up. So that's the squat. So you don't want to misfire any of the two movements. So we're going to the main question. Back to the main question. How to do a squat properly. So for most people, you'll find that most of the time they initiate the movement of the squats through the knees like this. This could be one of the reasons as why you're having knee pains. So how you want to squat? You want to put more weight on the toes rather on the heels rather than on the toes. On the heels, more weight on the heels rather than on the toes. What do I mean by that? To kind of as if you're going to sit. You don't sit like this. You push your glute. You push your hip backwards. So one of the best ways to learn a squat properly is by starting with a sit squats. This kind of imitates the way a squat goes. So we have here our platform here, as you can see. So what you do is stand shoulder width apart because you're doing a normal squat, and initiate the movement by pushing your back backwards while keeping your torso upright. Chest engaged, back straight, and then you push your glutes backwards. You sit and then back up. You do that for a couple of times. You see that you get used to sticking out your butt backwards, right? So when you've done that, the next progression, you're gonna take the platform away, and then you're just gonna come into it like this. So your torso engaged, back super straight, as you can see my back, feet firm on the ground, and you can see that I'm putting more weight on the heel rather than on the toes sticking out. So right there, and then you fire up nice and strong. So that's kind of like how the actual squat should look. You want to stand shoulder width apart for a normal squat, and so on, as I've illustrated right there. Yeah. So that's how you want to execute your squat. Yeah. You find a lot of people also leaning too much forward, which tends to look like a hip hinge. You're gonna put stress on your lower back. If you try to squat through the knees, you're gonna have knee problem. So that's roughly how you can do